It is 5 on this Thursday morning, and you are about to look live at Lake Monroe in Seminole County, just north of Sanford. Look at these live pictures, all that wind, all of that rain. About 90 minutes ago, Nicole made landfall just south of Vero Beach, but as you see here, parts of central Florida, this is north of Orlando, are really taking a beating right now. Good morning, and thank you for watching special coverage of what is now Tropical Storm Nicole. I'm Chris Shaw.
And I'm Lisa Greenberg. Those sights from that live cam very familiar to us here in Southwest Florida. We want to get you the very latest, though, on what is now Tropical Storm Nicole. It made landfall as a Category 1 hurricane at around 3 o'clock this morning, just south of Vero Beach, with sustained wind of 75 miles per hour. And even though it is now back to a tropical storm as it crosses our state, high wind and heavy rain are still our main threats here. We have a network of reporters standing by from all across Southwest Florida, all the way to the Treasure Coast, to bring us all of the latest information of Nicole from all different angles.
We also have 2 meteorologists working right now on Fox 4 Morning News, so let's get right to them. Fox 4's Trent Eric and Lauren Petrelli are in the Weather Center right now. So tell us what's going on with the storm. And Trent, I know you're saying Southwest Florida is taking a lot of rain right now, almost as bad as anybody else.
Yeah, we're on the southwest side. Lauren and I have been monitoring the radar here all morning for this historic event. This is the latest that a hurricane has ever hit the east coast of the state, and it surpassed the Yankee hurricane back in 1935. So we're unfortunately making history with the late season storm.
Yeah, and that's kind of the downer here, considering we already made history with Hurricane Ian, and any additional rainfall on top of our already saturated ground really not going to help us out too much. Trent, I know you kind of wanted to show everyone what's happening on radar really quickly. We're going to get to your winds in just a second, but we're seeing some of the heaviest downpours.
Absolutely. That video you saw out of the northern parts there of Orlando up along I-4 is where the center of that storm is going currently. And do we have a live camera to pop up here to show what's going on, or are we just getting straight to the radar? If we do, let's get right there. And Lauren's going to go prepare the winds. Good. And I just want to walk you through what's going on here on the radar as we are looking at that heavy rain off to the south. The center of the now downgraded tropical storm continues to roll here past Melbourne, Merritt Island. You've got Orlando. Let me show you where the brunt of that was happening here. And it was up around Seminole and Volusia counties, north of Sanford and I-4. That was the video we saw there coming out of the northern part of the state. Now to the southwest, we've got these rain bands wrapping around, dumping the heavy rain there between Cape Coral, Fort Myers, LaBelle, and Immokalee. And a little closer look at some of that heavy rain crossing the Caloosahatchee. So if you're waking up this morning and you got to go to work, I know school's canceled around town, but boy, it is coming down, ponding on the roadways. It gets a little dangerous out there. And this heavy rain is across an area that we all know was devastated by Hurricane Ian. And now we're waiting to see if there's any type of water intrusion underneath the tarps or compromised rooftops. Maybe you thought you were okay. Now we're going to get this heavy rain and a little wind. And the question is, how much more damage will we see? You can see the heavy rain there from North Fort Myers all the way through Babcock Ranch. And I want to step up. I'm actually going to take the radar out towards Sanibel and Pine Island here this morning. Just kind of take a look at some of those locations. And you can see Matlacha, St. James City still have some decent rainfall moving through. And then as we head down towards Sanibel, it's definitely been on and off. And I know the wind is driving that rain in, Lauren.
Yeah, so we've been talking for several days now. Wind and rain are going to be our biggest threats. We're going to talk about your wind gusts in just a second. First, I want to talk about the wind speed and direction for right now. We have some areas registering up to 22 miles per hour right now coming out of the other side. So you remember the winds, when they wrap around these tropical systems, you can see that wraparound formation with the wind speeds here up to 22 miles per hour over in the Naples community, 16 Marco Island. Only 4, though, over in Bonita Springs and 18 over in Fort Myers. Now, here are those wind gusts, which are a little bit higher. Remember, these are not sustained winds, but still can be very dangerous, especially with all of the debris we still have lying around. Currently, gusts up to 28 miles per hour in Fort Myers, 32 in Naples, 24 over in Marco Island. As we head through today, those wind speeds and the rain will slowly taper off, and eventually we'll start to see more sunshine by tomorrow afternoon. I do want to touch on traffic, as I know some of us still have to get out, some of us still have to work today. So we have a lot of ponding and pooling stretching all the way from Charlotte Harbor through our inland areas to LaBelle, all the way closer to just south of Clewiston, back down to Immokalee, through the Fort Myers, Cape Coral communities, and all the way down to Bonita Springs. This is probably the area where we're picking up the heaviest ponding and pooling. So if you are driving this morning, hydroplaning going to be a huge factor for you. Take it nice and easy.